Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Joseph, and I will be presenting assignment 3 for Data 620 Web Analytics class. This week, we were tasked with producing a graph visualization of our choice. It was pretty interesting assignment. We had an opportunity we could use Neo4j, Graphite, and some other visualization tools. For me, when I approached this assignment, I started out using NetworkX and the Jupyter Notebook. I ran into a ton of issues. One of them being is trying to get the network over to Neo4j, which was my visualization tool of choice. I tried a few packages. One of them actually generated the cipher queries that I could run in Neo4j, but when I actually executed the queries in Neo4j, it actually crashed the program. So I took a whole different route. I spent some time looking for a data set and doing a little bit more reading on Neo4j. And I came across a site, a Stanford site, which talks about the digital humanities. And digital humanities is an area of scholarly activities at the intersection of computing and the discipline of the humanities. So from what I got is a group of where professional IT professionals come together and they look to see how ICT and the interaction with humanities and how they can use information technology to bring out the ideas and convert the old readings and so forth. So this particular site that I found on the Stanford University Library is for one of their meetups, the 2011 meetups, and the data set in particular that I found is a sample data for the workshop which they were presenting. The data, when I got it, it seems it came in two format. One which is the CSV listing of the nodes, and another file which contains the CSV listing of the edges. Now, a quick glimpse of the files. It showed that it's made up of various items. There's a label and there are types. There are three types. There's a person, their location, long paper, and so forth, university. And the categories are individual, location, session, and so forth. So one of the things that I did is I noticed Neo4j can import CSV files. So I spent some time and I found a query that allowed me to do it. So this is what the query looks like. So what it does, it reads the CSV and it would go through it and basically initiate the create statement. So I did it in two parts. I run a query that created the nodes, and then I ran a query that created the relationship from the edges CSV. Now, when I created the graph, it was quite interesting. And this is a representation of the graph. So I played around with a bit and I came up with two relationships because I noticed this network set, it looks like it came from one of their meetups. So it kind of showed the individuals that played a part, the universities that it would have come from. So in my case, I just gave the relation name attended for whichever session it would have been at. So for example, Michelle Passin, she would have attended the. I just got a little more information here, and on ontological view of chronological, sorry, conical citations and the category session, and also within the relationship I showed which universities they would have represented. So all the individuals here will have represented King's College London. A few of the information or a few of the queries that I managed to run in the database was I ran a query that showed that would pull the amount of nodes that are categorized as individuals, and there's 351 of those the amount of nodes that are categorized as session, which would be whichever classes and so forth they will have attended, which is 143. I also did one that would show the nodes uh, that were categorized as location nodes, and I ran two more queries. One that showed the relationship of each item and where they would have attended. This is 394. Also, I ran another query that shows that would pull the amount of edges that are labeled as represented. I wanted to do a little bit more analysis with this information, but this is as far as I got. A lot of the time was spent trying to learn the Cipher language because this is the first time I'm working with a graph database, and I hope in the future, at least by the end of this course, I'm able to produce, to do a little bit more thorough analysis on the information. Thank you for your time. Good evening.